If you're thinking about moving to Seattle, there are about a dozen things that real estate websites will not tell you because they're trying to sell you something. I'm going to tell you them all right now. I'm Brennan Klaus. I'm a real estate agent here in Seattle, and I work primarily with people relocating from out of state. And I've had enough conversations with buyers who got here and said, I wish I'd known that before I signed, that I just decided to make this video. We're going to cover the 7 things that actually catch people off guard. Not the stuff you already read online, but the real stuff. Let's go. First, the rain is real, but it's not what you think. Everyone knows that Seattle is rainy. What they don't know is that rainy doesn't actually mean what you think it means if you're from the Midwest or from the South. Seattle doesn't get heavy downpours. We just get a lot of drizzle. It's gray, it's persistent. November through February, you can go 2 weeks without seeing the sun. And that's not an exaggeration, trust me. The people who struggle most are the ones who moved here expecting dramatic rain and instead got gray nothing. That's the thing that hits people harder than they expect. The people who do great here are the ones who just go outside anyway. The running culture, the hiking culture, the farmers markets, they all still happen even though there's a ton of drizzle. If you're willing to put a jacket on and go, you'll absolutely love it. If you wait for sun to leave your house, you'll probably be miserable by January. And here's a practical note, budget for a lamp. I'm not joking. A lot of Seattle people use the fake sun lamps. It's a real thing to help you with the seasonal depression. Okay, what $800,000 actually buys you and where? Let's talk about price reality, because this is where most out-of-state buyers get surprised, and not always in the way they expect. $800,000 in Seattle city proper is going to get you somewhere between 800 and 1,100 square feet. You're in probably a condo or a townhome. You might have a small outdoor space. You're probably not getting a garage. You might get off-street parking. Now take that same $800,000 and go 15 minutes east to Bellevue, and you're looking at even smaller of a home. Yes, it's more suburban, there are more yards, but you're not going to get as much house there. Go 30 minutes south to Renton or 25 minutes north to Shoreline, you're getting a larger home, about 1,400 to 1,600 square feet, a garage, and sometimes even a view. The question isn't what's the price in Seattle, the question is what lifestyle are you optimizing for? If you want walkability, transit, and the energy of the city, Seattle downtown and the surrounding neighborhoods can make sense. If you want more space and good schools, you're commuting anyway, probably Bellevue or Redmond is going to serve you better, but it's going to be at a higher price. I've got a whole video on the Seattle versus Bellevue comparison, specifically if you want to go deeper on that. I'll link it in the description here. Okay, the commute problem nobody talks about. Seattle has some of the worst traffic in the country. I-5, I-90, 520, these are not highways you want to be on between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. or 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. This matters for where you buy. If you're working at Amazon or Microsoft or a tech company in South Lake Union or on the east side, I'm going to have a conversation with you about where you actually want to live, because a 15-minute commute in Seattle can easily be 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes in the car, depending on the day that you're commuting. The flip side is Seattle's public transit has gotten significantly better. The light rail now connects the airport to downtown Capitol Hill and the University District, and it's also expanding north and east. If your office is near a light rail station, this completely changes the buying math for you and how your commute can work. You can live in neighborhoods that would be brutal to drive from and have a 20-minute commute on the light rail. So my recommendation is, before you fall in love with a house, check the commute at 8:15 a.m. on a Tuesday on Google Maps. Don't check it on Sunday morning, Tuesday at 8:15. Do it at the time you're actually going to be commuting. Okay, the tech industry effect. Seattle's housing market is uniquely tied to the tech industry. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Expedia. This creates a market dynamic that's different from most other US cities. When tech is doing well and stock prices are up, demand for housing spikes. When tech announces layoffs, you sometimes see a slight softening in the market. The market will respond to tech news faster than it responds to the interest rates here in Seattle. If you're moving here for a tech job, you're also competing with other tech buyers who have RSUs and larger down payments. That's just the reality of buying in Seattle. If you're not in tech, if you're in healthcare or education, maybe a trade or small business, there are still great markets here. West Seattle, South Seattle, Shoreline, Kenmore. These are neighborhoods where you're not necessarily bidding against tech buyers and you can still build real equity in a home that you purchase. Okay, I have to talk about the Seattle freeze. If you've done any research on moving here, you've probably heard this term. The Seattle freeze is the reputation that Seattleites are polite, but hard to actually become friends with. And it is partially true. People here are not the invite you to a backyard barbecue the week you move in type of people. New friendships tend to develop through shared activities. Hiking groups, climbing gyms, those are super popular, neighborhood associations, other sports leagues, rather than spontaneously. If you're moving here from the South or Midwest where people are more openly warm to strangers, the first 6 months can feel a little isolating. That's normal. And to be honest, the weather doesn't help, but it doesn't mean that people don't like it. My advice is find your activity first. Sign up for a running group, join a climbing gym, join CrossFit, find the neighborhood Facebook group and actually go to things in that group. The friendships here are deep once they form. It just takes some intentional effort to really get them started. The real estate market right now. Quick update on the market as of spring 2026. Inventory has been rising. We're still not in a buyer's market completely, but the days of 20 offers and bidding wars on every single house are definitely behind us for now. Homes that are well priced and well presented are still moving quickly. Homes that are overpriced or need significant work are sitting, and especially condos and townhomes are sitting a little longer right now as well. If you're a prepared buyer, pre-approved, clear on your target neighborhoods, have a realistic price in mind, this is actually a reasonably good time to move because these dynamics allow you to negotiate and also take your time when you're looking. Rates are currently just above 6%. The people who waited for rates to drop to 3% are definitely still waiting. The people who bought 18 months ago in a neighborhood with good long-term fundamentals are sitting on real equity by this point. If you're seriously considering making the move to Seattle, I'd love to be a resource for you. I've got a free Seattle relocation blueprint. It's linked in the description. It covers neighborhoods by lifestyle, realistic price ranges that you'll want to know, and what to know about the buying process here, specifically in Seattle. I do a buyer strategy session over Zoom for people who are 3 to 12 months out from their move. There's no pressure, just real information catered to your specific situation, and the link to book that is also below. If this video was helpful, subscribe because I put out new Seattle buyer-focused videos every single week, and I promise none of them are going to be market stats you could have read on Redmond. I'm Brennan Klaus with the Emerald Group here in Seattle. Thanks for watching.